Good evening, Chico. It's always so much fun coming down here. I hail from a tiny town in the Great White North, as we call it, called Cottonwood. It's a really fun town. It likes to confuse people because it straddles two counties. Historically, it's famous for being a very big beef community. Now, though, it's famous for meth. And we have some grade A meth addicts in Cottonwood, let me tell you. They are smart enough to know when the cops are coming, they just have to walk over a bridge, and the cops can't fuck with them. We've got a couple of cool ones, too, that I swear to God can compete in the catalytic converter portion of the Olympics and definitely bring home gold for the U.S. And then you also think about how copper has become a really precious metal when you're a tweaker. For people who haven't seen my shows before, I'm Sedona. I'm mentally unstable. I have bipolar disorder and ADHD, and I am definitely floating around somewhere on that fucking spectrum. Let me tell you. It's kind of fun being a little crazy, especially when you're bipolar, because you go through manic phases where you make the worst decisions ever. And I just started a new really bad decision. I went back to dating. I went back on Tinder, which is fun. But when I first signed up to Tinder, I didn't know like the cool lingo, like you swipe right to like and swipe left to not. And the first person right out the gate was my brother. Which makes sense because we were under a mile away from each other because he was in the next room. And unfortunately, I swiped right. And to have to leave him that DM afterwards was really bad because I had to explain, like we're not from Arkansas. I know we're in Cottonwood, but we're not trying to assimilate that much. I'm always very upfront and honest with the people I choose to date and let them know I'm batshit crazy. And throughout the many years of this fun game, I have found that there are two types of men. There are the ones that see every fucking red flag and they run. And then there's the other 85% of men who see all the fucking red flags and know this bitch knows how to fuck. Because if you have ever dated and or been a crazy bitch, you guys know. They just know how to fuck. And then it becomes a game with the person that's dating you because they want to pick fights with you because they know that that's the good stuff. But then they get mad like when I key their car or like flatten all their tires or show up at their work. You know, but my lawyer says some of these cases will be dropped, so we're hoping for that. Being on Tinder is kind of fun. So I go out, I'm from Orange County originally, and I like to travel, and I get bored and go on Tinder just to see what the options are when I'm out and about. So down in Orange County, where I used to live, there's a lot of gangbangers, and it's fun because at least I know I'm going to get good tacos. I was just recently in San Francisco, and they were all prettier than me. And I felt like I couldn't date a guy that was prettier than me. But where I live, up in Cottonwood in the Redding area, these pictures definitely tell me that these are the guys I want to date during the zombie apocalypse. Because they've got deer and fish and birds and pigs and God fucking knows what else they like to shoot out there, Jesus. But I mean, if you're gonna go, you might as well go with a guy that can get sustenance for you. So I'm a Gen Xer. I was raised in the 80s, you know, drank out of toilet tap hoses. Drink out of hoses. Our timing apparatuses were the streetlights. Because, you know, if you didn't get home by the time those were on, your ass was grass. And then, God forbid, all of the things we had that didn't have safety devices, like car seats, the back of the truck, the back of the Pinto. where I got in a lot of trouble in the station wagon. Raising children now, though, is weird because we have all these like alternative parenting techniques. You got some that free range, like chickens. You got the gentle parents, which I don't knock gentle parenting. I think in order to be a good gentle parent, though, you have to have gentle children. Now, see, I don't make those. I don't make gentle children. I make feral gremlins. And for some reason, these feral little creatures, they don't hear gentle parenting. They hear a very specific tone from mom. That's what they listen to. And it's not, okay, honey, can you please pick up your Legos now? Because I would never want anybody to get hurt, including you. They don't hear, I've already asked you to pick up your Legos, please. Can you do that? They don't hear, I really think it's in your best interest to pick up your Legos right now. What my tiny little feral crotch goblins hear is, you better pick up your fucking toys right now before I throw them and you in the fucking trash and leave you there. That is when they hear. And then all of a sudden they look up at me shocked, like, why are you yelling at me? Well, fuck, gentle mom was here 10 minutes ago and you didn't listen to that bitch. So her friend psycho mom had to come. But I mean, raising kids is cool. I like to fuck with mine personally. I can admit I'm a bad parent. I love fucking with my children. My oldest one, it was a couple years ago, my oldest one was like bitching about our shitty ass internet out in Cottonwood. And I fucking looked at her, I'm like, ooh, you know what? I was born before the internet. My fucking 5-year-old, without skipping a beat, whips around and goes, oh, wait a minute, Mom. Does that mean you was born with the dinosaurs? And again, I'm the bad parent. I wasn't like, oh no, honey, the dinosaurs were millions of years ago. I was like, fuck yeah, I was. I rode a velociraptor to school and you're stuck riding a fucking yellow bus. I'm not an expert at being a woman, trust me. But I do like talking and gathering information and fun shit like that. I talk to a lot of women about this particular subject. What would you do if you had a penis for 24 hours? And this is a common conversation between women, so I'm sorry, men, that you're hearing this. And we all kind of have the same answers. We want a helicopter. You want to teabag someone. You want to write your name in pee. You know, it's a lot of cool shit. And then I got to thinking, what the fuck does a vagina have to offer? We know they're not going to have a period. And they're not touching babies. So those two are off the table. If a man had the vagina for 24 hours, I still don't think he'd find the clitoris. So I was thinking, like, what else is there? And then it dawned on me, this happens to every woman, no matter size. I know I'm bigger, but I've heard it from the littlers. When we sit down in a certain manner and we fart, sometimes it forms a little bubble that floats upward in our vagina, and it tickles. So the first time I told this joke was at a bar, and I saw this guy go, oh my God, that's horrible. His girlfriend's dying, and she's like, fuck, I did that an hour before you got here. I was dead. One last little story, because I love it. My dad passed away a few years back, and my mom bought these 2 dildos. Now, I might add, my mom has an amazing superpower. She can hide things in the most securest place in the whole world and completely forget about it. So she gets these 2 said dildos, and I didn't know about it, thank God, until she comes up to me one day and tells me about them, and I'm like, oh, great. And then she proceeds to have the audacity to ask me if I took them. And I looked at her quite perplexed. I said, nope, Mom, I think I'm pretty good on that department. I told the joke for the first time when she was in the audience, and she got so mad. We're driving home, and she's like, if you ever fucking tell that dildo joke again, I'm just gonna fucking whip one out and go, look, I found it. I'm like, dude, Mom, I will pay you 3 paychecks to please do that, because you are not making this bit any fucking less funny by doing that. I said, I could hear Comedy Central calling us right now because of that. And she still won't come and do it. I tried to get her drunk once to do it, and she did it, and I was very, very mad. Very mad. I'll end this with one little thing. I'm a quirky little bitch. I'm a chick that loves life hacks. When I ultimately feel like a bad parent, I just head on down to the Walmart first of the month. Fucking feeling great about my life choices right there. When my house is dirty, because again, I'm a mom to horrible children. I binge watch Hoarders for about 8 hours, and my fucking house is good. As far as my mental health went, I just figured the best part about it would maybe be becoming a psych nurse. And I did that, and I work in a lockdown unit. So every day that I get to leave work after dealing with my amazingly fun patients, I feel really good about my mental health, and I think I'm doing really great. My name is Sedona. Thank you so much for having me, Chico. I love coming here. It's always one of my favorites.